I'm Dr. Alec Williams. I'm an orthopedic surgeon by training, but I've been retired now for 22 years, and I'm a full-time farmer. And I'm in the registered Angus business, and Williams Angus has been in the business for 100 years. This is our 100th year. My daddy ran this operation 53 years, and I've run the operation the last 47 years. We've run about 150 mama cows, bred heifers, have been up as high as 300, but it's a lot easier and we're most comfortable with 150. We do a lot of artificial breeding, but we do more embryo transfer. We've been doing that since about 2006. And today, about 90% of our calves will be ET calves. We run about 700 total acres of farming. Most of that is just round bales of hay. Most of it be orchard grass and clover. We'll put that up dry. We do have about 20 acres of alfalfa. We put it up high moisture. We primarily feed that to our bulls. We do buy commercial grain in the bulk. We've got one commodity shed, and we do that, and it can be fed to everything, because I run this entire operation with just one employee, but it's kind of streamlined so he can do everything, including the breeding, the AI work, and I do help him a little bit on some of the haymaking. I can mow and rake, and that's about what I'm limited to. We do have two calving seasons. We have a fall one, which is primarily September, a few in October. And we have a spring calving period, which will be January through March. Sometimes we'll have a few Aprils. We normally creep feed our bull calves. We'll start them about 3 months. Because we do a lot of embryo work, we'll wean most of those bull calves around 180 days. And we do that so they won't be chasing cows in heat all the time. And our heifers, we'll do 205, and sometimes, especially the spring ones, if we have plenty of grass, we'll go ahead and get our 205-day weights on them. And we may leave them on the cows till they're 8 or 9 months old. It varies. We used to not ever creep our heifers, but in the recent years, since the advent of genomics, most of our buyers want to buy the young cattle. So we do creep feed our heifers now, so they're in a little bit better condition, got a little more flesh on them, because that's what our buyers want to buy. Now, we will keep a big group of bulls here on the farm, and we limit feed them, but we grow them out, and they're all will be sold at private treaty. We'll take a handful of bulls to Waynesville, North Carolina, to the bull test. We send bulls to Clemson, and we send bulls Southwest Virginia. For 30 years, we sent bulls to Tennessee, but we haven't done that in the last 3 years. But we have a big private treaty bull market. We sell most of our females at private treaty. I'll put a few in consignment sales, primarily East Tennessee, Tennessee Agribition, the Greene County sale. This year, we've sent a couple of heifers to Oklahoma City, the National Western, and we're going to send one heifer out to Soaring Eagles elite female sale. Regarding herd health, all of our cows get scour guard for coronavirus and E. coli 6 weeks before they calve. And we've been doing that for 30 years. We haven't totally, but we've almost completely eliminated our scour problems. And if we do have one, we use just plain old streptomycin kaopectate, and after 1 or 2 treatments, they're usually over it. But the E. coli coronavirus vaccine on the cows 6 weeks before their calving has just done wonders for us. Normally about 6 weeks we'll give our calves the first blackleg shot, Clostridium, and then somewhere around 2 to 3 months we give them all the other vaccinations, including BVD, PI3, lepto. We give them a pink eye shot that's our local vet made up from some cultures he's done. And for the last 2 years, we hadn't hardly had a pink eye, unless one's injured an eye. And that has just been a miracle worker for us. But we ivermect our calves every 3 months. Our cows, they get their shots, IBR, BVD, lepto, twice a year. But our baby calves, anything a year or younger, they get ivermect every 3 months. We do AI, we do a little bit of natural service. We do a lot of embryo work. That's been, over the last 13 years, that has been really, the embryo work's been a really big part of our business here. Primarily because they bring a lot more money. And as we keep all of our weights on all of our calves, as I reviewed those records, most of the time those ET calves always weigh at least 55 up to 95 pounds on the average, more than all my other calves, both the AI and the natural service calves. So we put embryos in all of our cows past 2 years old, and then if they don't take an embryo after 2 services, then we'll either AI them or put a bull with them. And a lot of times, if people come by needing some bred cows, those are the ones we sell. I first got interested in genomics in 2010. At that time, I was contemplating on where I was going in this business, what I was going to do with my cow herd. And I decided that I needed something to level the playing field with the bigger herds across the country. And I was introduced to genomics. Now, genomics is a word for DNA. And our researchers have done an amazing job of locating all the different traits on the DNA chromosome. And it's not perfect, but it's the best thing that's happened in my lifetime in the Angus breed. Now, the beauty of genomics, it is what it is. You can't lie, steal, or cheat. It is what it is. Now, when they give you a genomic score and they look at those locations on the chromosome, they'll give you a score from 1 to 100. 1 being the best score you can get, 50 being average, and 100's the worst score. Only 1% of the breed can score a 1. 1% will score 50. 1% will score 100. 1% will score a 2. So it's easy to decide one's good, everything else is not as good. So genomics really leveled the playing field for a small breeder like myself to have a shot with the big boys. And once you start focusing on genomics and you get some animals, let's say you get a donor that's got a lot of low scores and you breed her to a bull, I can see the results. You have to understand that environment can play a role. You can have a calf with the best genomics in the world, but if it's sick as a calf, it won't look very good. But it may breed good because it has the genomics. So, and of course, when we look at our cattle today, the genomics is incorporated into the EPDs. So it's still most important to look at the EPDs. But it's really important if they've had genomics and they have genomically enhanced EPDs. If they don't have that, I personally don't even look at them, because without the Genomics Incorporated, they can really vary, because I've had full sister ET calves, which you know, once you get genomics, there's a wide variation. So genomics separates the men and the boys. Now I started doing genomics in 2010, and we, you know, we bleed every calf that's born on the farm. So we've got 11 years of DNA now, and we have as many as 4 generations of genomically test cattle. And once you start getting those great genomics stacked, that's when you really see the difference. And I can tell you, in our operations, with what our cattle are bringing, that's when it really pays off, when you start stacking those genomics. Well, genomics plays right into the role of a new index we have in the Angus breed, and that is dollar combination, or $C. Dollar combination, or $C, takes in every EPD we have. I can't tell you the formula, but there is a formula that they put each of those values in there, and they come up with one value called $C, or dollar combination. Now, the other breeds did this before the Angus breed did it. The Holsteins have had it for several years, but all the other beef breeds have gotten this, so our association thought we needed it. And it's been here for 3 years. We've been actively using it for 2 years. They didn't publish it the first year, but they told us how to figure it. And I can tell you, our registered breeders have accepted that with open arms, and it's really stimulated the buyers, because everybody is going after $C. And I got real lucky, because what I'd been doing for the last 11 years kind of headed me in that direction, and when they came up with that, I was in a good position. So $C is the total, and it takes in every EPD. You know, even the dollar values, $1 weaning, $1 maternal, $1 feedlot, $1 gain, all of those are incorporated into $C. And so it's like a total index, and our business has really accepted it, and they're paying a premium for it. I'm a big fan of the Tennessee Enhancement Cost Sharing Program, and I've actually taken the course twice. And I will say this, I'm amazed what an outstanding job the speakers do. It's like going back to first year of college, taking Ag 101. And it's amazing the sophistication of my bull buyers today versus 30 years ago, because they teach them genomics and EPDs, and of course they help out financing on the bulls that qualify and have good enough EPDs. But I can tell you, my buyers come to my place today, and they get my price sheet with all the information on it, and they'll just come up and they'll say, I want to look at these 5 bulls, that's all I want to see. They know what they want, they know what they need, and it is truly amazing, and you don't realize how important it is till you go away from here. And I attended several sales in Kansas and Texas, and I would interact with those buyers, and compared to the buyers that have had our enhancement program, it's daylight and dark, and it's really refreshing. And I think our extension service has done an amazing job.